An officer was shot in this area behind me, and I'm going to take you over to the hill because this is where the standoff continued to happen between the suspect and officers. The suspect ultimately died in his vehicle. I got an exclusive interview with a neighbor who told me she heard between 6 and 10 gunshots go off. The remains of 2 bodies were found at this residence behind me. I spoke to a few residents who live in these apartments next to the intersection that this incident happened. They told me they heard between 5 and 7 gunshots go off. The Hillsborough Public Schools student handbook says, quote, possession of a weapon is a tier 3 offense. Sadly, they didn't find the body of Becky Jo Look under this slab of concrete, but they told me they aren't giving up. This snow is making for some terrible driving conditions. As you can see behind me, these cars are bumper to bumper. After a workout, you may be thinking you deserve a reward, but experts say that type of thinking is self-sabotage. As it's getting nicer outside, kids are outside rollerblading or biking. But with all these high snowbanks as tall as me, cars can't see kids playing outside. Up next on Valley News Live at 6, you'll hear from parents and how you can keep your kids safe.
In tonight's Healthier Me, a dream of a lifetime will soon come true for a small-town Minnesota woman. Greta Van Horn got her hands on some very difficult tickets behind the bench seats to the Duke UNC men's basketball game. The game is certain to be a real battle involving 2 longtime rivals. But battling is something Greta knows a lot about. She's battling brain cancer for the 3rd time in just 5 years. Our Valley News team's Mattie Hjelseth has the story of her very own sister, the super fan of Duke, and how this very special gift from the Duke basketball coach himself came to be.
Go Duke! Greta Van Horn fell in love with the Duke men's basketball team more than 15 years ago. And is she ever a fan? Greta never misses a game on TV. Not only that, but the blue and white colors, a hallmark of the Blue Devils, is everywhere in her home. Coffee cups, blankets, and of course her precious Duke jerseys. And the blue and white have even found their way to her cane.
I feel okay. I get tired, but I did lose my ability to walk, and the doctors think it was from the first round of radiation, but I'm hoping I can just walk with my Duke cane and my foot braces by game time.
Greta's mom, Joni, knowing how big of a Duke fan her daughter is, reached out to Coach K. He came through big time, giving Greta the opportunity to sit behind the bench to one of their biggest games of the year.
When we found out the 3rd time her cancer came back, the first thing she told our mom is she's sorry that she's got to go through this again.
So getting these Duke tickets gives Greta something to look forward to. It's the first good news her family has had in a very long time.
It's honestly a dream come true. I can't believe I'm actually going. I'm going to tear up. It's amazing.
But it hasn't been the first time Greta has been in contact with Coach K. He even called her and sent her autographed pictures.
This is a picture he sent me and he signed, "To Greta, follow your heart." This one says, "Thanks for being on our team." But he's so busy, and yeah, he takes the time to just reach out and makes me feel special and makes me want to work hard and beat cancer.
Greta and her husband Jake will be heading to North Carolina for the game in February. And she says she's most excited to see Coach K in person. She's hoping, just maybe, she'll get the chance to meet him and thank him for his support with her battle. Just like she's supporting him and the Blue Devils in theirs. Reporting in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, Mattie Hjelseth, Valley News Live.
This is a very personal story for our reporter, Mattie Hjelseth. As we said earlier on, Greta is her sister.
Dozens gathered to protest the death of a man who was shot by a police officer in July. A Devils Lake detective named Brendan Potts was involved in a struggle with Daniel Fuller. It resulted in the discharge of a gun that led to Danny's death.
Today, Valley News Team's reporter Mattie Hjelseth talked to Fuller's family and friends who peacefully demonstrated the life of Danny.
Justice for Danny! Danny was right! You're all corrupt!
It's been 2 months, and the dash cam video of the last moments of Danny's life still have not yet been released to his family.
And here we are 70-some days later, and the video still hasn't been released.
That's why more than 100 protesters walked around the block, chanting justice for Danny.
No more violence! Radio silence!
They stopped in front of the City Hall in Devils Lake, continuing to chant, expressing that policies need to be changed in the city.
Policies need to be developed to safeguard the rights of the people in our community.
One policy Marla believes needs to be changed is that officers under criminal investigation should not be paid while on administrative leave.
I know as a regular citizen, we would not be entitled to paid administrative leave from our employers while we were under a legal investigation. Carrying a badge does not give them special privileges.
Loved ones of Danny Fuller just want justice for his life, and they want that dash cam video of that night released to them so they can know what actually happened the night Danny died. Danny's family and friends, as well as the Devils Lake Police Department, say they want justice and a resolution for Danny and Detective Potts. If not, the family is planning on having another protest.
Now he's got a 175-pound pissed off father that's looking for him. So Mr. Potts, come out, wherever you are, I'm looking for you.
Reporting in Devils Lake, Mattie Hjelseth, Valley News Live.
And stick with Valley News Live for updates on this ongoing investigation.
It's been piling up for weeks now. Old and unwanted items are now just waiting on the curb to take their final ride to the dump. But not all of those items are getting a free ride.
There's always an option all year round to get rid of bigger items. There's a charge for it when it's not cleanup week.
Both Fargo and West Fargo say during cleanup week, their crews don't pick up electronics, even though some residents say they thought everything was fair game to put on the curb.
We just said it's cleanup week, so everything that we don't want, we put out there. So yeah, that's news to me.
If you've missed electronic cleanup day, don't worry. The city says there's still a way to get rid of it.
We actually have a crew that's going around and they tag those things with a sticker that tells them exactly where they have to bring it and that we can't accept that.
They're urged to bring those items to the Household Hazardous Waste Facility in Fargo.
They can bring a couple pieces of electronics every month, all year round, for no charge.
In Fargo, Mattie Hjelseth, Valley News Live.